It's Doma, isn't it?
I give the prep specifically like tailored so that like I know that which players can do more and less. So obviously I forgot less.
Yeah, I mean, so what is the prep you got to do here for Twisted Minds? What would have been on that PC?
What would have been on that PC? I mean, BBL Pacific are continuing with the Neon and the Euro. They recently went to that composition, and that composition is all about the aggression with the double duelist, and so it's probably going to be about how to deal with that.
I'm a little bit nervous about this Yoru, I'm not going to lie. Lover's Rock, I'm such a big fan of his jet, especially after what we've seen. This Yoru sometimes makes me feel like he's not being fully utilized to the best of his abilities.
You mean you think he's more comfortable on jet?
It's not even comfortability. I think it's almost sort of maybe we shoehorn the meta a little bit onto what's strong.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but it might not be necessarily, in my opinion, the strongest. But what do I know?
I think in this composition you need the flashes, and the Rock's playing Neon, so would you prefer the Rock on Neon or Breach is the question?
Breach.
Okay.
He's so good on Breach.
I do agree.
Yeah, he's such an incredible
I hate Breach, but it's the Rock.
player. Yeah, I honestly, to be fair, he could play anything at this right now. On the other side, though,
yeah, Exit again on the Neon is the Gen G style where they don't play with like a flash, and it didn't work so well last map.
And how do you feel about the Viper here?
I don't mind
Don't
Viper.
see it all the time.
Don't mind Viper. Yeah. It's about whether can that Viper really get the value to stop that double duelist really abusing past the wall is the question.
Oh my god, Lover's Rock just blew us a kiss. Okay.
He is a lover after all.
Hey, I like it if we had like a Lover's Rock and LaRock duo and we just call them Lovers LaRock. You know? Look at me already trying to...
You're VCTing them.
Yeah,
already.
that's our cats. Ascension's cats. Well, Ascension's brashies. There you go.
Brashies.
Lovers LaRock, hashtag make it happen. Oh, Twisted Mind. I think we might have a small delay there looking at the client.
Do you think they do the red light in the prac room?
Wait, what do you mean what a red light? Oh my god. I'm like, what are you on about here, Mini? I do like on their whiteboard, they're giving Flynn a bit of a shout out.
Yeah.
I would love to speak to them once we get an opportunity just about the impact of Flynn, because obviously I've heard that, you know, he's very competent. He has, he works hard.
Well, who is he into?
He comes up his ideas. It's a very philosophical question. Why? Why is it always who is he? Not why is he?
Flynn?
How is he? Flynn, how are you doing, by the way? I know you're maybe watching this. Let me know. Let me know how you're doing. But obviously, he's sort of known for his data gathering stuff, right? He's a bit of a nerd like yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things about Twisted Minds that I wouldn't be surprised, because Flynn is their analyst. He's the kind of person I'd imagine did a lot of the scouting or helping with the scouting for this team, and it's clearly paid off. Yeah.
It's definitely paid off. I don't think many people had Twisted Minds as the one to make it potentially even further, because if they do win this map, Mitch and Tom, they're going to be one step closer to ascending to VCT. How exciting.
One step closer and one step away, and only a map between them and a BO5 for a VCT slot. We're starting out on the defense for Twisted Minds. They brought the Viper in. Now, I personally have had a lot of struggles with Viper on this map. I'm a one-trick, but on this map I play Sage. It's so difficult on the defense.
You don't mean watching other people. You mean you physically playing
me personally.
Okay.
So one of the troubles on the defense with Viper is how difficult it is to effectively slow some of those pushes. And I'm interested to see not just the positions of the walls from Sand, but also just when that utility, how that utility is used. I think the most conventional is towards A main. On the attack, I don't have many questions about it, but on the defense, I think that's a danger if BBL Pacific are able to leverage it. And we're going to start with this wall on the B site. So this is much more passive. They're not trying to keep control of main over towards B main. As I said, it was A, actually. I meant to say normally B is where you'll see that wall go down. But I like this. You're getting a bit of mid oppression. You're getting a bit of backside B control.
They have
already BBL Pacific have walked up through a mid.
Yeah, they will have heard this, of course. No surprise. Sikri is in a decent spot, but they're going back the other way. Paranoia onto exit, but his stun has kept him alive. Sikri, he hasn't been spotted. First shot goes amiss, but he does manage to land the second. It's definitely, well, they're trying to explore the entirety of the map. Almost feels like they've played it for the first time, and they want to see what the other team's spawn is like, because that's where they've ended up. Zemo, oh, it's not pretty, but again, it's the last shot that lands. Exit goes fighting, and the trades back and forth eventually find them with a man advantage.
Look where the spike is, man. Have you ever seen the spike drop there?
No, I don't think I have. Maybe when you're playing like a 1v1 and it glitches to the other side or something like that, but no, that is a peculiar way for the round to end. But Twisted Minds won't mind too much. They've got themselves another pistol.
Yes, indeed. I think this is a very strong round for them, I suppose. Forcing BBL Pacific, not even forcing them into their spawn, just following them there.
Do you reckon BBL Pacific run that one too much in the training ground? We're going to go left, then right, then left, then right, then right, then left, then into the spawn, and then we're going to lose the spike.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's in their playbook, but I think it was more thinking on the fly.
There's not enough space on the page to write that one down.
Yeah, not the best of starts.
You need a big notebook.
Good adaptation. And in terms of investment, it's looking pretty solid. Looks like we're going to see this wall a lot coming out of the Viper. And again, I like this. I like what I'm seeing here. Maybe I can try run Viper and ranked again.
Well. Like you can make it awkward for them to get to the back of the site, but also get yourself out of there. LaRock, he doesn't plan to get out of there at all. Oh, this is starting to get a little bit scary. Zemo completely surrounded. He's going to get overwhelmed. This was a round of classics, and now they found a couple of rifles for themselves. Bear in mind, Twisted Minds had come into this with 4 rifles on the board. And now, well, they'll be lucky to come out with a victory.
Just take a note here. Don't put the wall up as they're close to you and stand halfway in and halfway out of it. Up against the low buy. Okay, that one's jotted down. Not gone too well for poor old Sand, and for Twisted Minds, this is about as bad of a start.
I don't know how Exit won that.
Hope for with Exit finding that kill. This is no longer unwinnable. Time is ticking alarmingly quick, and Kreven is up close. Tom's favorite player. Oh, this is still under threat, but luckily the clock is what will win it for BBL Pacific. Jesse not even getting out with the weapon. A thrifty win for the attacking side, and that's got to be a disappointing start. You've won barely any pistols, and the second one you take somehow sets you up for a worse start to the half.
The worst thing is as well is normally when you see a round like this slip away, maybe a rifle goes into enemy hands and someone does well with it. They got all those kills with pistols. Yep. Not a single kill came through with one of the rifles that they picked up. So at least Jesse managed to remove all of the guns from the other side. Unfortunately, they also removed all the guns from their own side and have nothing to play with going into this round. In fact, they're even going to sell the solitary sheriff, maybe to try and save extra credits up for an operator going into the next. But, well, we spoke about Twisted Minds, at least in the first 3 pistols, their inability to win one. This is worse.
Yeah, you would definitely rather just go 2-0 down at this point, but that's not a choice that they have anymore, unfortunately. Twisted Minds with a...
Lover's Rock has got very far.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really passive setup on B. It's one player looking at 2 angles, hoping that no one walks through. They did, and now he's screwed. Big stack up on the A side. It was 4 players waiting, and I don't mind this. I think it's the perfect way to play around like this. Obviously, it didn't work out, but BBL Pacific, they either go A or they go B. You know, that's top-level analysis you're here for. And in this instance, they didn't go to the site.
I can see why they put you on the desk.
They didn't go to the site with the
Mini,
4
write that one down.
Yeah, they didn't ask me back for this segment.
Weird.
I don't know why.
Weird. In fact, they had nobody.
Yeah.
Odd.
Strange.
Yeah. We'll have to ask them about that later. Well, singular kill at least, a bit of damage, but ultimately, when you win yourself a second round with only classics, you're going to have some extra credits to spare. Of course, they didn't save any additional weapons, but the 4 they bring through from this one will put them in an incredibly good spot as that operator. As I said, there was a lot of extra credits being saved up by Sand in order to have this in play. Clearly, a big part is getting Exit onto that weapon.
I mean, he was doing a bit on Lotus, but for the most part, it was the rifle where he was really having that success. So, curious to see what he's going to be up to with the op in hand. Of course, he was playing the Raze and getting up close, taking a lot of fights. This time, he'll use that Neon to retreat after initial engagements, and 13 HP left onto Loida. But we've seen that man do a lot with a little bit less health. And he might need to. Kreven down already. Lover's Rock the one to eliminate Exit.
This is a little bit troublesome. The spam, though, working wonders. Lover's Rock going walkabout, but Sand still holding the line. Has that snake bite available to him, but trying to hold it for the perfect moment. The Rock is going walkabouts. He's the main danger in this round. Because, of course, for Rose, has the spike in hand. Can't really afford to take a risk. Instead, going to try and set up his teammate to make a play. But you can see the defense. They've grouped up as four and really don't want to take any risk here. They're just looking to try and move as a unit. The only potential for an individual fight is going to be from Jesse.
Here.
No individual fights to be taken, puts pressure on Rose. Big moment for him. One, just not enough. LaRock, 1 against 3. But luckily, he's got a little safe haven, even if the reveal was close. But Sand is hot on his heels and taking that triple to put Twisted Minds 2-2. Finally, landing that second round of the board after winning the pistol. The road to recovery perhaps will be paved by this operator, but in this round, didn't seem to get a lot of success.
Yeah, did some early damage, but a lot of it was just holding on to those advantages and grouping up together. That's the sort of stuff we want to see. I think we got to a point in Haven where Twisted Minds weren't doing well when they had advantages. And that's basically a telling sign of where they were mentally in the game. Obviously, the coaching staff have now had a chance to talk with them face to face, like give them a little bit of a break and reset them into the map. And I think you can tell that that reset has definitely come through. Ults only on one side, though. Rose also only one away from having another online, so this could very quickly become dangerous for Twisted Minds.
Well, LaRock's already gone deep, but Exit was watching it, very much ready for that play through the spawn. Lloyd at least trying to pull this back, but the op still causing problems, and indeed, it is the one putting the pressure on with the ult as well. It's not like just getting up close is going to make this much easier. Oh, Exit is dropped, but look at the damage done. He's left Kreven onto 16 HP, but Kreven retrieves that operator. One shot in either direction, and a player will fall. It's Kreven to land it and put us into a 1 versus 2 with a good idea of just where Sikri is after that shock dart flew from the spawn. Oh, he's just about made it. Kreven, he was 2 seconds later. He would have been caught in mid, but instead, this is going to be a 2-player in B main post plant, an op to fight against, and no shock darts to get that free kill on the low HP Kreven.
Also time. Like, it's getting to the point where chances of winning this almost feel like zero. The extra gun might help them out into the next round. Instead, he's going to try and fight it, and I think even if he had managed to get those remaining kills, I don't know if there was anywhere near enough onto the clock. It was a nice attempt from X in this round, but ultimately the rest of his team quite comfortably overwhelmed by that aggressive double up. And I like as well the fact that Lover's Rock ultimately uses his ultimate as a big distraction. Like just tries to get any information for his teammate of Kreven, who had a fantastic round.
The Twisted Minds losing out on this one puts them in a pretty tough spot. Will be pistols almost across the board, just the rifle for Jesse. It will be pistols across the board. Jesse down, but Sand is the one to trade it back. Really nice work from him, as he's managed to drop LaRock, who, you know, decent player for BBL Pacific. It's even covering that rifle. And with 3 players on back site, this is now looking like there's a bit of a threat in this round for BBL Pacific.
Are they going to try and commit any of the ultimates while Sand has already gone down? Hunter's Fury is the main one I'm looking at. Potential denial, especially with the kills coming through for Exit. There's definitely an argument for throwing something more in. The remaining players so desperately low, but it doesn't matter at all! What a round from Exit again! This man was the reason they won map number 1, and he is the reason they're level in map number 3.
A lot of people will say they want to be the best in the world. Hell of a lot of people. Who doesn't want to?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
But it's something else to have what it takes to reach that level. Great opening from Sand, but this was all about Exit. He was already 50 HP on the way in. Grabs 2, takes out his Sheriff, and goes in for more. It's an outrageous performance from him, and a timeout from BBL Pacific, as that really is not a round they should have lost. Remember, there was only 1 rifle on the other side, and they killed him immediately.
Yeah, it was surprising how much they were able to do. Like, I was looking at the ultimates as the potential way for them to pad the gap. The fact was, it was the swing together as a group, again, that sort of pack mentality working out for them on the retake, and then Exit just landing every shot. The fact he goes in at the end with the Sheriff and finds 2, it is ridiculous. And well, here are the stats coming out of that map 1. 431 ACS is insane. Oh, that's in-game. I'm looking at the in-game. You guys can't see it, but I can read it still, so I'm going to do that anyway.
Let the people know.
I'm going to ruin the stat for when it's eventually shown. 274 damage a round. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, almost averaging 2. And then also having the opening kill the majority of the time. It genuinely was an insane performance. If he can get back to that level, that's how they win. And that's scary. That's scary that that guy is a win condition.
I think it was 13-8, obviously, and I'm pretty sure he was 8-1. I could be lying, but I think he was 8-1 in opening duels, which, you know, not bad.
There you go. That's the stat I was reading.
Oh,
I mean, they just wrote down what I said.
Yeah. You read that out, and then they copied your homework.
Yeah.
That's Captain Cow. I thought you were better than that. But 3-3, Twisted Minds making a resurgence. It's Exit again who is putting in the work. I mean, this guy really... we talked about LaRock being picked up for a team next year. Jesus, get Exit on one immediately.
Again, that's if Twisted Minds aren't already there themselves.
Yeah.
He might just drag them kicking and screaming, but Loiter has other ideas. It's a weaker buy. Oh! It is a battle of the beams. And I guess they both lost. Technically, it doesn't matter though. Sikri, Jesse in tandem finding kills. Rose has got one back. Both of the Sovas found a kill, just not with the ultimate.
Spike planted.
Exit versus LaRock. A battle of the Neons, and potentially a battle of the Sovas also building up on the other side. It is the fight of doppelgangers. And while that reveal, it is going to give the game away. Rose wanted to try and take the fight and still does. His teammate has joined him on the back of the site. The dart being weighted to try and give them the reveal, but the screen has given them a chance down to the 1 versus 1, and Sikri will take it home. It was a battle that went throughout the entirety of the round, and it's one that Twisted Minds will win.
Oh yeah, that Hunter has got to be furious over on BBL Pacific. Rose finding himself too. Big step up from him in this round. They had a double opening as well with Loida wrapping up, but Kreven and Lover's Rock getting caught in the overextension. And him being boxed in the corner and taken down has given Twisted Minds the lead, something they haven't seen since they were 1-0 up, winning the pistol and then faltering immediately. Now they're back to winning ways, and as a result of how we've gotten here in round 8, there will not be a strong buy coming in for BBL Pacific. There won't be ultimates to fall back on either, and when they do buy up, because I assume it's not going to be used in this round, a Viper's Pit to contend with in the hands of Sand. Then add in, maybe Exit can even find themselves those 2 orbs. Okay, it is going to be used here. I'm not the biggest of fans. They're going to play behind the trap at least, but with a weak buy from BBL Pacific, I think this finds much more value in the next round. Still, it does double down their probability of winning round 8.
Yeah, I think also it's just with the back and forth in this game so far, don't do it. We don't want to slow-mo. I don't want to see it. That's a rough one. I know there is, but I'm trying to ask them not to.
The pleadings only make it worse.
Andy is cruel.
Yep.
Oh, that one's nice though. LaRock with another, and you talked about the Viper's Pit. Well, it is a non-factor. It doesn't double up at all, in fact. And oh, this is problematic. Zevo stuck in the corner. He'll go down as well. Moments of brilliance, and then things slipping away. But I guess he's given them a chance.
Well, that pit being used, going down
Where's
for
Rose
nothing.
going?
It's made this difficult. 2 players walking into sight, though. They might have an isolated duel. That smoke's still up, but Loida's caught them looking the wrong way. A triple kill. At the risk of getting us copyright struck, it's one of those rounds where you're going to push your fingers into your eyes is the only way to stop the pain. Not only because of this replay and the slow motion showing Sikri getting deleted, but a Viper's Pit used against an eco, and then you fight outside the pit. When you have cover from backside, that is one of the 7 deadly sins. I don't know what the other 6 are, but that's number 1.
Yeah, and guess what? It's Loiter and LaRock again. it's that duo that just seems to win unwinnable rounds. we've mentioned it already that in terms of prospects, one of them in the form of Loiter, I believe, turned 18 just last month, and LaRock turns 18 next month. So they are two incredible talents that I think many, in fact, everyone should at this point realize is ready for that tier 1 stage. And if they can keep winning rounds like that, it's really just going to take the wind out of Twisted Mind's sails. It is a pause called, and you can kind of understand why. We've seen one on either side, basically for this exact fact, losing rounds that you shouldn't lose. That was a full buy versus a weak buy, and a Viper's pick committed in. And the guy on the Viper's pick got owned, like just completely deleted by LaRock.
Yeah, again, I think a little bit too much to go back out of the mid to take that fight. There was a trap covering the B-main walkout as well, so I guess that's sort of part of the reason you don't have to hold inside of it. Playoff contact to the backside guy. You're worried about the market wrap as well. I mean, there's a lot of factors going into that. A disappointing one for the defensive side. Still, they come in here with a lot to work with. The pit gone. The ult there for Exit if he's put under pressure, but the op is going to be the mainstay of that early fight, and he's wrapping in just in time, it seems, to catch this mid-fight. That is pixel perfect timing, but Lover's Rock, well, he says, you know what? You killed me with some dry swings in that first map up against the op, so he'll do just the same here. Not the best of walls, but LaRock's still able to trade out Kreven, and now they've got a lot of space towards this B site. A free plant coming in.
Yeah, door shut behind them. The flank a little slower, and a long rotation coming back around from Jesse. The backside post plant is going to be difficult. Rose has already spotted that flank as well, keeping the information in their favor, and just opts to try and group up with the rest of the team. I wonder if they even go for this. There's got to be a little bit of doubt. Look at the wraparound as well from LaRock. Even if they do make it through, they're being delayed just enough so that this man can go all the way around the back. There is no escape at this point. They have to be committed, and Lover's Rock, his position is just perfect. He's looking to see if there's a second. There isn't. LaRock is going to kill the guy from behind. This is exactly what you want to see from them. Perfect precision in positioning. And those are two of the freest kills they're ever going to get, but it's only because of the decisions they made.
Might be a little more as well. LaRock's hunting him down. He's going all the way into the spawn. He's got the read, and the shot lands too. Oh, such a costly round for Twisted Minds. And they were the ones with ultis online. They were the ones with the economy, not just allowing them one buy, but two, up against a weaker buy 2 rounds ago. And now look how far they've fallen. The lead back in the hands of BBL Pacific. A weak buy facing them. The ult economy no longer in their favor. It has flipped over to BBL Pacific, and it's only going to get worse. And this attack side, building rounds, building momentum for Twisted Minds. They could be facing a rematch in that lower bracket, and considering how close it was in the last BO3, 13-10, 13-11 with mandatory, that's not somewhere they want to be.
Lead already on the attack. Last time out, when they played versus Ulf, it was the defensive side that looked better for BBL Pacific, but also the attack that looked better for Twisted Mind. So it might just be both teams trying to get as many as they can in this first half. An early trade. Bear in mind, the weaponry is definitely weaker for that defensive side, but Sikri does still have a gun in hand. Again, though, the point of contact is going to be Lover's Rock. But the spike is going the other way. It's all a ruse. He takes the TP as late as humanly possible, and they have fallen for this hook, line, and sinker. The whole squad on the B side. And with their buy, you can understand why they're there. But BBL Pacific have played them like a fiddle.
Well, that's exactly why they've done it, right? With the buy on the other side. There are some times where running those fakes just going to be a little bit more efficient. The star player, Rose, picks up one with the op. You know that because they're on that weaker buy, they're going to over-rotate, they're going to overplay their hand. So you fake out the B site, perfect time to throw it in. Now what should be an easy close, but 2 rifles retrieved. There's a good chance.
He hit that shot. Oh my God.
Wow, Lover's Rock, I mean, really tough performance in that first map, but it seems like he has woken up
Yeah.
Certainly in that previous, in the 13-6 on Haven, he was 27-11, 28-11, somewhere in that territory. And right now, putting up the numbers in big rounds. 6-4 for BBL Pacific. Does look like Sikri will at least be able to save this weapon.
It's a silver lining. And they're definitely still hunting. But no, they are really struggling to deal with this double duelist. Whether Lover's Rock is getting kills, which he has been, or just taking space, he's been a nuisance. And this round was all about the ruse. Like, the fact is they sent their IGO in with an operator. If you're on the other side and you don't think that's a full-on push, you're mental. Like, the IGL has just shot a cam with an operator in the site. He can't escape. But that's why the ruse worked. 6-4. Lead extended by BBL Pacific. But there is going to be a buyback on the other side. An even half, honestly, I think either team would be fairly happy with that. They'll be going into what should be their stronger side.
Who's next? Deploying drone.
On the next half. But already, though, those ultimates being used.
Yeah, you know again that you're going to be up against that operator. Just glancing at the credits on the other side. Of course, that's information BBL Pacific have to work with. So, this mid-fight, it's an easy pickup for Krevin. He's caught Jesse. And now look at the information that's going to follow up with that good stun. The cage. Oh, it gives Krevin the space. He's taking down Exit. But Sand and Sikri, they're given a chance. Oh, there's Fury. It's close, and it will find its mark with Krevin on a third kill. It looked like there was a real heartbeat to this round for Twisted Minds, but it is quickly flatlined with Sand having to win a 1v3, and he does well to find that first. But the post plan here will be cruel.
Oh, Lloyds are almost toying with him. He's got another one to go as well. He loves doing this. And he doesn't even know where Rose is. He knows the Hunter's Fury came from there, but the amount of time he could have wrapped around, the fact is it ended as a 1v1. Rose was just a secondary observer in the background watching the youngster fight, as they will have that 7-4, the half lead, and 4 in a row now for BBL Pacific. You could say they found a second win, but it just seems like we're back to regular programming.
I think it's a really smart way to play it as well, because you're going to just assume, like, why would Loida take the fights alone? Rose is probably wrapping market.
Yeah.
You're going to start diffusing, and you have to split your attention.
Guy on Ascension. They're inside, they're backside, they're backside. Like, what can you do?
Well, we're getting impressions now. Neon fight, here. The laser beams. And it's Exit to come out on top. He's got to be careful, though. 8 HP. A lot of ultimates to play with here for Twisted Minds. This round should be in their favor. Sand catches a timing, but then catches a bullet.
Enemy remaining.
Nice job, though. Hunter's Fury goes through for the reveal. Jesse there to convert the kills, and Loida in what would normally be considered an unwinnable situation.
Yeah.
But it's Loida.
True. Laroc's dead, though. That's at least something.
Yes.
If it was both of them.
One of the 2 L's.
Yes.
You said, Tom.
Well, the other's LR. Technically. You know?
Still an L, you know?
Yeah. I take a lot of those.
There should be one for BBL Pacific here, though. 7-5, close half. Twisted Minds move to the attack.
I have the spike.
See if that Neon on Exit can keep on delivering.
The thing is, why would he believe they've just given up all of this ground? Like, he's going to go through just like, okay, maybe someone on this corner. All right, on this corner. Nope. Maybe on the next corner. Oh, there's a cam, and now they know where he is. So, yeah. Good luck.
And there's a trip. Gotta deal with that, too.
It's an obstacle course.
14 seconds, they just run it up, just overwhelm. Leave one guy behind to run the clock down, but they actually just full flooded 5-7. For Twisted Minds, winning the pistol, you want it a little bit more, but they brought this back to within punching distance when we move to the second half. The pistol could bring them back neck and neck if we win follow-up, which is always up for question.
Enemy remaining.
We'll find out just how that second half is going to go after the break. Welcome back, folks. One of these teams is one series away from locking in a spot in VCT. But first, they have to take Sunset, a map that currently sees BBL Pacific leading by 2, but moving on to their defensive side. It has been an interesting halftime because Twisted Minds, they won the pistol to start things out, but that ended up setting them up for failure.
Ahead.
Zemo has caught that shock dart early. Not too much damage. The rotation's already there. Mid control has been taken by BBL Pacific, and 4 players now surround the site. It was initially the plan, but quick thinking from the big brain of Twisted Minds, and they are now going back. A lot more space elsewhere, and a lot of it's going to be reliant on Kreven. I think he just spotted ahead.
He did, and he certainly heard the steps. Moving towards market, but this is all a ruse. Twisted Minds looking to drag the rotations. There were 3 players towards elbow. Loida going down will still keep a relative amount of presence towards this A site for BBL Pacific, but now we look at individuals needing to step up when they're pressured, and Twisted Minds even take this slow. It's actually playing against them. Look at the push up from Rose. He's contained them, boxed them in completely. He's seen the trap. Running it down, he almost got the jump on their Cypher, but at least for now, Zemo's able to survive that engagement. Looks for the fight deeper. Rose, not the only part of this fight, though. On site, a full flood sends BBL Pacific into a massive deficit. And in fact, it'll be a flawless pistol. 2 for 2 for Twisted Minds, but they're still trailing by 1.
Yeah, I thought it was asked like what was in the notes or what was on the computer in the plan, and I wonder if this was a part of it. Like the fact is, the double fake back to the same side that you went to originally seems like a set idea to almost make things that little bit more uncomfortable. Even still, BBL Pacific ended up with a majority in the right place at the right time, but Twisted Minds prevailed comfortably. And I'll be honest with you, if we see the same thing as the first half, I'm going to be a lot less forgiving. I think if you walk into this sort of stack, a lot of it comes down to you just not doing your due diligence properly. The last one, I feel like they got overwhelmed by the sheer pace of what BBL Pacific did. But you can see there is one very select corner of the map that has every single defender sat within it. Twisted Minds are being patient.
Twisted Minds did set themselves up towards this A site. They play a low buy, so there's always a chance that they decide to go back in the other direction, expecting that kind of a stack. But with Viper Wall down on A play through elbow, taking those much more open fights onto the site seems to be what the game plan entails. And yet, they're just going to walk up. At this point, I think they're too heavily committed to go back. The flank could already be coming in from middle. And up against those pistols, that probably means 3 or 4 players if it's happening. Not worth the risk. Go into this site, and as they'll see now with the drone, it is wide open. Nicely done in the early stages. And this is where, for BBL Pacific, they wish there was a part of the map to jump off. You're going to have to give orbs or
you're not allowed to do that, though. That's rude.
It is. Read out the copy pasta.
I've got time.
Disrespectful.
I do wonder if we're going to see the rifle drop by exit and see him go hunting. Maybe the same for Sikri. I guess those are the 2 players you want the ults on the most. But for now, at least, it is just going to be the attempt to try and die to the spike. BBL Pacific not wanting to give anything away, but as mentioned, you have yourself the opportunity to take that first seed. The difference with that is that you will avoid Ulf. Of course, they are the other team that has managed to win their upper bracket matchup and look like a fierce team to face off against. I will say, BBL Pacific have had their number all the way through the year, so I imagine they won't be too worried if they do have to go. But they'd also have to then, if they lost, go into that decider match. And although they'd be favored, they were favored here.
Well, Tom, you'll have to make a purchase of the Book of Kreven after this one. I heard he is your favorite player.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
After proving you wrong in the previous map.
Oh, yes, very, very, very much. Just like Rose did with the Odin. How many kills did he get with it in the last map?
Well, we're into round number 15, so we'll have to look into that one a little bit later. Captain Cow, don't you dare put that up as a toast.
Or do.
Neck and neck. 7-7, and this, BBL Pacific look to get aggressive in mid. Lover's Rock obviously has a back out with the gate crash, and it will be used, but not before he found that opening and put Sikri in the dirt.
Here.
Leaving Twisted Minds to try to pick up the pieces elsewhere.
Cutting through.
An early start.
Cage triggered.
And the buy rounds are safe to say BBL Pacific were better, but that's not going to mean too much.
I'm out of here.
At this stage, Exit has brought them back. Lover's Rock in a good position, and while Exit maybe not expecting so many players to be waiting on the other side. Spike yet to be planted though, and Sand has already brought things back. LaRock catches the timing, and Sand just waiting. They've heard the TP back to main, but they don't know necessarily exactly where he is.
They've double swung him, and of course LaRock's left alive to trade, so you know it's going his way. Shot comes close to taking Jesse out, but he's still surviving, but not thriving. Coming through the smoke to find Lover's Rock holding. The lead will go back into the hands of BBL Pacific. A hell of a close showing here on this map, considering that we had a 13-8, a 13-6, and by the way, the 13-8 is against BBL Pacific, who were 4-1 up. So it was a dominant start from them, and then a dominant resurgence from Twisted Minds. This one has felt much, much tighter, which I suppose is what you kind of expect from a decider map.
Yeah, for sure. It shows how tight both these teams are. As I said, like coming into things, BBL Pacific were the outright favorites for the entire tournament, but Twisted Minds, the one MENA representative,
Time to jump.
have proven they are a team that definitely deserves to be here and maybe deserves to be one of those best of 5 grand finals this weekend. Loiter though, looking to make it nasty. 9 HP. LaRock has been slaughtered, but the same is on the other side. 2 HP for Jesse. A huge advantage here for BBL Pacific. And well, Twisted Minds can't go any further, Mitch. There are 3 players on that site.
And they know that there was one behind them, right? Lover's Rock came up, broke the tripwire behind, immediately TP'd to the B site. So now they're going, okay, we have multiple players on A, but probably a 3v1 if we just fight the dude behind us. Let's go back. No one's here. Every corner they clear, because they don't know it was the Yoru. They don't know we TP'd out. Every corner they have to clear now, worrying about him. And in the end, it's going to run this clock down, but not that much. 50 seconds, and although there's a gate crash and spawn just taken now by Lover's Rock, he isn't really going to be in position if Twisted Minds keep up this pace to stop that B site hit. The cam from the defensive side is inside B main, so it's not finding that info, although it's hearing it. And now there's a reveal on B. There's a smoke in main. They're hearing all this information, and it becomes clear they're stacking the wrong site. For Twisted Minds, this is what they need. The number's not on their side, the HP low for Jesse, but great paranoia gives them a pick.
Yeah, catches Rose. The rest of the team fell back, he fell forward.
Cage triggered.
Jesse only on 2 HP, but Loiter is low as well. Zemo is spotted. At least a couple of these players, the spam gave the information, and Sikri trying to fight from afar, wary that somebody could try and cross, and now with the smoke, they could make some space. Even still though, that time is ticking. Jesse desperately low, but has actually managed to tickle up an opponent. The spam hasn't managed to connect, but Jesse, even on 2 HP, will do the dirty work. 3 kills, 8-8, and Twisted Minds not letting this one slip away.
Yeah, keep in mind, he's the reason that they got that opening as well. Onto Rose to bring us back to a 3v3 with the paranoia that just we see landing there. Big round from Jesse, and no better time for it. You can see in the coaching booth, they know how important that round was. That puts BBL Pacific down to a low buy. That should put Twisted Minds back in the lead. And the most important thing here isn't the round, well, okay, they've actually lost to a worse buy, so it is the round win. But beyond that, what should be granted, what really matters here is doing it cleanly, not allowing BBL Pacific to make it close to chip away at that economy. And for now, at least, that's a phenomenal start. Not only 2 players down, but 2 sheriffs.
I think that the thing I enjoy most about the last round was the fact that Jesse was clearly trying not to die, but to bait for his team. All the spam, everything he was doing, running in with the paranoia. Like, the goal was, I'm 2 HP, someone trade me. And he ends up winning the round in the process. Like, it's nice to see almost the sacrificial lamb rewarded. And it looks like they'll be rewarded with the lead. Kreven is going to be the only man anywhere near the action. Although they'll have a little bit of time to rotate just off his cam. You just look at the weaponry and the amount of utility that's going to be put into play. He would need to find a gap, and oh, for a second it looked like he might have had one. And I don't know how Rose has managed to win that with a classic, but anything more would be surprising.
Scanning ahead. There will be no surprises. 9 on the board. The lead for Twisted Minds. And the attack side, well, it's starting to take shape here. We've got 4 out of 5 rounds going in their favor. For BBL Pacific, that's going to get the alarm bells ringing. And perfectly timed, I've just seen the timeout pop up. So BBL Pacific using their second timeout. Keep in mind, Twisted Minds still have both of theirs to work with. It's BBL who've been under pressure despite the close scoreline, and losing this round here will send Twisted Minds straight onto the home stretch. So it's a very important time, and I think that the perfect time to make this little bit of a break in the action.
Yeah, I think as well, even just the manner in which some of these has been lost, like having some fairly decent advantages and being caught out by a couple of set plays or Jesse in the round prior, like these are moments that you can't allow them to sort of slip away, and maybe some slight tweaks in just the decision-making going as a unit, especially when they're playing into that retake, which they have been a decent amount, need to be on the same page. But for Twisted Minds, this is a huge opportunity for them. A squad that, up until they played in Challengers 3, I don't think many would have had them on the radar. In fact, most people would have been talking about the points distribution. And those people, if they keep going as they're going, are going to end up with egg on their face. You know, sometimes you need to give those additional spots to places that maybe can't necessarily come here and compete. But when they do come here and compete, Twisted Minds are showing that the work has been put in, and they are ready for a brawl. Well, the Rock definitely is.
The early spam doing damage, sending Sand down to 30 HP. Canceling out any potential impact from him, you would think, but we've seen stranger things. It's going to be full commitment to this A site. They don't know quite how many players are here, and with just one breaking that drone, they're going to be surprised to find just how much of a defensive force sits in wait. Sand on his 30 health manages to trade out to start. Z-mode as well onto Loida, and now has to be cautious knowing that Op's in play, but it's a 4v2. There's no need for over-aggression here. With an Op and Sand so desperately low, they just need to make sure the trades are possible, and at any moment it looks like they're ready for them.
Yeah, it just has to be the save. The operator in a 1 versus 3 is never going to be happening, and keeping that through into the next round, it won't be a purchase, but it might be at least something onto the board. Oh, wow, change of pace. And that's the thing I love about this Twisted Mind side is you have the pause there coming through from BBL Pacific, and they use that to basically just go, okay, let's try something much more aggressive. We've tried playing with rotations. We've had these sort of like executions where maybe we take some control here and there. This one was just direct. And even though, you sort of said it, they walked into the heavier stack side. Like, it wasn't like BBL Pacific had the wrong read. They just beat them out in the firepower, which, starting off this series, I don't think I would have been saying that at any point. But now, 10-8 up, 5 rounds so far on this attack side. Oh, wow, if there's going to be a response, I said I didn't think there'd be much of an investment, but actually, it was seeming like quite a heavy one.
It's going to be an Op, a Judge, a Stinger, a Sheriff, and a Classic. We've really got the full wheelhouse being brought out by BBL Pacific. One end, though. Twisted Minds knocking the door of 11 rounds.
It's got the indestructible drone path.
It's an annoying drone path, I'll tell you that. Contentious one as well, I think, within the community, but we'll see if anyone is angry with that. We've got a little Viper wall again towards this A site. The hits have come to elbow. A number of times you can see just how difficult it is to really deal with this, forcing the players into these closer angles. And it looks like Rose is good for the first. Paranoia a little bit late, and No, no! Andy, listen, I know I said to Tom earlier it makes it worse, but please just this one time, don't put it in. That's not a pretty spray, but there's still a chance. Off in position, first found, old active, 2 spotted. Lots of information to play with. Larocque on the sideline, and it looks like they might just have recovered. A messy start, but a beautiful finish from BBL Pacific.
These guys are just absurd with classics as well. The 2 classic kills to close it out, a judge in the mix. This is what they've been doing throughout the game. Like, you start to believe that they're down and out, and then seconds later, yeah, sure, this was messy, but it's the rest of the round that ends up being beautiful. The classics working out, the judge in the corner, and then even managing to dance his way out of that. We didn't see what happened with Larocque, but I can only assume he slid right into his opponent. A much-needed break to what was a Twisted Minds train. But they do still have the credits to buy once again. The operator taking a risk. No one gets hurt.
Hunter Fury fired through. Good connection, and he's looking for the kill. But the kill shot not landed. Now Twisted Minds making that rotation to the A site. Going deep on this play, but Lloyd has done the same. And a nice, nasty angle. They shift peek this, they're in big trouble. They're wary of it. Even a crouch peek looking to come through, and they've spotted him. Thankfully, luckily. Lloyd will be sent backwards as Twisted Minds, realizing the space taken on the defense, now look for another avenue. It's middle they've selected, but that very nearly cost them the opening duel.
Oh, it is happy feet from Exit, already managing to dance his way through. Loiter holding on the edge of the smoke. They have a decent idea that he's here, but do they know there's a second player? Larocque's done well, but he's going to be dealt with. Kreven manages to find one on the other side, and the operator smoked off. Chances of success for him in this moment slim, but with the reveal, he's going to try it.
Nice shot. He's a little too tucked in, but Kreven able to find that angle, wrapping around, it's beautiful! Kreven with a third, and Lover's Rock lands the op shot. BBL Pacific taking us to double digits, to 10-10. 2 one-sided maps to start out this series, but boy oh boy, has it delivered in the end. And it's far from the end just yet. We could even be going to OT, and looks like the pressure is on for Twisted Minds. They've called for a timeout.
Yeah, I think a somewhat necessary one. Again, they had advantages. We've seen them lose with... again, this seems to happen a lot. We had it in the last map as well, where I think there were 4 rounds almost in a row where you could go, they could have had that one. Oh, they should have had that one. Yeah. Oh, they definitely should have. And then that's where we're getting to now. Like, you lose a round that ultimately comes down to a couple of classic kills and a judge. Then the next one is like you have a big advantage, and Kreven manages to slip the net. And like again, you're talking about someone masterfully finding space, but there were gaps to find it in the first place, and that's the problems that need to be fixed. When you're playing a team like this with so much individual depth, you give them the tiniest margin, and you find yourself in trouble.
But luckily, you still have that timeout to work with for Twisted Minds. Time to course correct, but this is it. The final timeout in effect. Round 21 sees the players left on their own to close this out, to compete for that slot in that VO5. To have VCT on the line to avoid dropping to that lower bracket and having to play a decider tomorrow in a BO3. For Twisted Minds, it would be a rematch. For BBL Pacific, I mean the same, back in that group of death, but they know how it went back then. Certainly not looking to have a repeat. 10-10. And the op in the hands of Lover's Rock. It had a very shaky start to this series, but it's come online.
Gotta go.
Not quite reaching the levels of Haven, but we saw in the last couple of rounds, they're making a big difference.
Nowhere to run!
Oh, early Hunter's Fury. And it's actually going to be the BBL Pacific players that are just wiping the floor with their opponent's sand, at least. Has managed to grasp a grain of hope, but this round is already looking bleak. A couple of low players, a Viper's Pit, But they need to find the space to put it down, and there's still 3 players on the site that at least Sikri is edging towards. He's walking into the operator, but he's won the fight.
You have to wonder if that's Exit calling it, you know? Don't use any utility, just dry swing him. It worked for me. And it certainly worked for Sikri. Now, the ult from Loida, the information taken, nobody in B main. They might think about a rotation, but for Twisted Minds, they haven't made a decision just yet.
Also, look at the
avenue
trips.
through market still available with those trips covering off A short and mid, and a camera on A. They can stack up this B site. Twisted Minds, they're going into it, running head first into the stack, and Kreven finds that first kill. Sand thinks he's got some real estate to work with, but finds both remaining players waiting. 11-10, a big blow dealt by BBL Pacific as they now take the lead.
The assumption there was that we'd seen the rotations off, but it's these early fights. A nice attempt for the 2 players remaining to at least make that one even look possible for a second, like Sand and Sikri did what they could, but after the 5-1 start in the half, it has now been all BBL Pacific 3 in a row.
You know, I think the second that Paranoia went down, they realized they'd lost because they thought the TP was the rotate, and instead it was just clear in B main. Realizing there were so many players there, a little bit too late for Twisted Minds. Saving over a lot of credits, but they're still able to pack quite a punch to this round.
If they get the pit down especially, that's not what they were hoping for.
They dodged the kill trip and still lose Jesse.
Well, there's the pit. Stingers, Judge, a rifle or 2. Immediately, Larocque is going to be spamming the lasers in. Shock Dart doing some additional chip damage, which with these weaker weapons could help, but the Viper's pit has gone, and they still haven't managed to plant just yet. Even still trading, but there's only 1 man standing. Somehow Exit managed to get in behind, but he doesn't have the gun for this sort of range. BBL Pacific at the depths have managed to bring themselves back, and with the lead now in their favor, 2 chances to get themselves into one of those grand finals, and also avoid their Turkish comrades in doing so.
It looks like the rematch versus mandatory could be on. Oh my God, we've got a water cup that luckily was empty. Well, it would have been empty at this point either way. And sent flying. Twisted being sent flying into that lower bracket with just 1 more round loss. 2 in a row needed to keep themselves in. This is where all the credits get put in, though. Remember, they had weaknesses in the previous. Certainly looked for a moment like they were going to equalize yet again. But now that is a bit of a taller task. An orb sent towards the Hunter's Fury. Still 4 away.
I did save the credits for this round. The last was mainly relying on the pit and a walk of mid. So much space being taken. Sand has absolutely no idea, but it was almost like a no-look flick. Turns around and takes down Rose. I thought he was dead for sure, and Exit has slipped back in and removed Larocque. It could have been the other way around, but just a split-second reaction. Lover's Rock. His TP is about to expire.
Portal closed.
This is now risky, but he will be able to safely make his way back into mid. And I like this from Twisted Minds. They've just stopped, they've waited, and now they have the information. Loiter might be about to come under pressure, but the immediate rotation is in for Lover's Rock, trying to bait them into the idea of going the other way.
With this wall, they want to go elbow. That smoke up on top of the box, but look at the rotation already coming through. Lover's Rock could be a big factor. Got that off in play. Loida, the smoke, though! The one to turn the tide as Sand is shut down. Jesse all alone. TPs to the other side of the map. He's got just enough time to get that plant in. He's just about made it. That is down to the millisecond. And a TP, he could have went anywhere. Kreven now has the info. He's heard him on the left. The smoke down, but Kreven emerges in time. Here's the steps in main. Already puts the pressure on in just a moment with the tap. He thinks Jesse's on the right. He'll get it to half. Jesse looking for the fight, will land the shot just in time. Twisted Minds. That was a close round. Loida almost sent them packing to the lower bracket. We are going the distance in this map, in this series. This regulation pushed around 24.
That's insanity. 0.34. Quick thinking from Jesse. A slight misclick, a fumble. You hit your mouse wheel, and that is game over. That's you having to play another match. Instead, they cling to life with Loiter almost placing them in one of those grand finals. Now he's under pressure. Exit's had enough, but his Lover's Rock to start. First kill in BBL Pacific's hands. The second is there as well.
It's Exit. He's bailed them out of so many situations in the past, but with Sand down, and a tag on Sikri, it has to be Exit, and not this time! Twisted Minds exit the upper bracket as BBL Pacific now just one best of 5 away from VCT. They've been within reaching distance before, but they've never looked this good.